guys, this is Lashette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I'm back with a surprise video. Away on this retreat, a spiritual retreat for Shadow Care, and one of the co-creators of it. The retreat is officially over. But a friend of mine, the other co-curator for this retreat, bought decks as well, and one of them is the Baseball Tarot here by Mark Lerner and Laura Phillips, and I have been intrigued, and I'm going to borrow it for a little bit. And before I dive into it, I want to give my early impressions. My first impression. So that's what this is. The Baseball Tarot First Impressions. So I'm here in unfamiliar surroundings. I thought I could film this morning before people started getting up, moving around, packing out, but that was not the case. Otherwise, I would have done this at the desk. I'm doing this on a windowsill, which is pretty sturdy, and it's giving me all the light. So I'm going with it, but yeah. So this deck basically comes like this. Obviously, this is a used version. This is not mine. This is the back, the spiritual base pass, bringing the ancient wisdom of divination by cards to the familiar actions, characters, myth, and metaphors of America's pastime. Baseball Tarot offers guidance for every at-bat in life. It's by Workman Publishing, New York. Like, I did look up this deck online. I believe it's out of print. It came out in 1999. It has a chonky guidebook, 300 and some odd pages with a kind of recommended reading / bibliography. And yes, it is this fold out thing, with this side being like the Fairies Oracle and the Heart of Fairies Oracle. I'll get to the cards in a second, but yeah, I thought it was attached to the cover, but it does slip out here. And it is a pretty good guidebook, in my opinion. Illustrated by Dan Gardner. So, I talk about the cards here and tarot. I think this would be pretty good for beginners, to be perfectly honest, though the cards seem to definitely correlate to the tarot as a system has been built. It doesn't use all the same names, so maybe intermediate if that's the case. I like how they talk about here how you use baseball terms a lot in regular everyday life, so it's not that much of a stretch to have a baseball tarot. And this adapts to the traditional symbolism of the deck. I'm guessing it says unwrap your deck, so I'm guessing this was like in some type of plastic wrap to keep it closed. We use baseball roles and actions and situations to fit the tarot. The majors are the majors for the most part. The minors have been renamed to mitts, balls, bats, and bases. And the mitts are cups, the balls are swords, the bats are wands, and the bases are pentacles. And then they go into how you can read the tarot. Throughout all of this book, they use baseball terminology. So I'm not, I need to make clear I am not a baseball fan. I don't hate it, but it's not my pastime. I don't go looking to watch it. I don't go to games. If I see people I know playing it, maybe, but probably not. But again, like they stated, a lot of the terminology is used in everyday slang outside of, the baseball diamond and the baseball field. So it's not hard for me to get this. Not being a baseball fan, knowing the bare minimum of baseball. If you are a foreigner in a country where baseball is not really played professionally, this might be a stretch. It talks about this. This is the stuff for like beginners. Things, how often you can read, what kind of things you can read, but like what to ask. I like this. Request for coaching. That's what I mean by using baseball terminology. And another deck, it would be like asking for guidance from the universe or your guides or deity or spirituality or whatever. This is request for coaching. And I'm just like, you know what? It clicks. It makes sense to me. So it's not just the cards itself, it's the whole package that is baseball themed. And then they say the layouts instead of spreads. That kind of thing. I did watch or skim through someone else's review of this deck last night for a couple of minutes. They did it 5 years ago, and I do agree that this is a deck that I think would work very well for decision making, things like competition and work, school, that kind of thing, where you have leadership roles and follower roles and divvying up tasks and working as a team versus working as an individual. The cool thing about this is there are 12 layouts, not including the Celtic Cross. So there are 12 unique to this deck layouts, or spreads. And I like them. So we have one card layout, pitch and swing, like that makes so much sense. Usual pitch and change up, so how you usually do something and how you can try an alternative way of doing things. Hype and scoop, like what things appear to be versus what the issue really is. Infield and outfield, subjective versus objective perspective. Hit, ball, and strike. Starter, reliever, closer. Who, what, I don't know. Who's on first? Then longer layouts, calling the plays. This is wild. The diamond, which this is basically everybody on the field. That's incredible. Of course, we have the traditional Celtic cross here. And then they have layouts for 2 or more people, which is interesting. Pitch and swing for 2, and then the bottom of the inning. How I see the issue, how I see me, how I see you. So those are the layouts. And then how you can create original layouts, the big picture, like reading the layouts. And, again, back to things that are normally in guidebooks versus reading for others, reading for yourself. Keep score. Keep a record of your readings. But I like that. And then there's some sample readings. So then we have the cards. The major arcana, they call the majors. And the minor arcana, they call the minors, which, fits. So at the beginning of each section, we get a little something about that, of what you'll find and what the section is. So for the majors, you get a full representation of the card in black and white, the title, the number of the card, some keywords, then the traditional title in case you don't remember, a planetary link, which I wasn't expecting, a quote, which skimming I think is good. It helps if the title doesn't spark something. The quote often does for me, even though half the time I don't know who these people are. I know who Yulee is, but I don't know, every baseball player quoted in here. And then it's a description briefly of what's in the on the card, the image, and like what the title means in that sense. Then when this card appears, we talk about interpretations and reversals. In the minor section, hold on, I'm gonna get there. So it's about a page and a half of for each card. Come on now. Here we go. The minors, right? For each card, it tells you what you'll find there. Now, this is slightly different. Ahead of the count, the upright meaning, behind the count, the reversal meaning, the player, the type of person to which this card refers, the signal, the advice this card offers, the play, situations or activities to which this card refers, the stuff, the emotions, attitude, belief, and thoughts to which this card refers, in the ballpark, questions for further exploration. Now, without this, I wouldn't have got that. I don't really know about the count, so even those two I wouldn't have immediately picked up on, but just having this there is helpful. Then they go into a description of each suit, and with keywords. Mitts are traditionally cups, and you know why that is so, some things, and then each card. So again, the title, a keyword, a quote, some info, a full representation in black and white, and all of the stuff it said it would have. So again, back to about a page and a half for each card in the deck, and the last at the end is the recommended reading section. Here's some books by Rachel Pollack, Mary Greer's Tarot for Self, Choice Centered Tarot, Easy Tarot Guides, some if you want the history, the Encyclopedia of Tarot, and the Tarot Psychology and Synchronicity by Carl Jung. So, the cards. This box is probably the least good thing about this. Now, it has the holes, but the cards stick out the top. Like, they don't fit in here, right? It's hard to show you, but when I push down, like, they start coming out there. But the backs of the cards, as you can see, it's like this galaxy star thing with baseballs. Not the most attractive, but not the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And I guess I don't think they're quite reversible. So you see, I can't even get them all out properly. The cards are oversized, like, but very nice thin cardstock, very bendable, very shuffleable. They do kind of sort of stick together. Like, these were not in order. To put them in order was a little bit of annoyance to separate each card, but I have large hands, so shuffling these are not bad because it's not too thick and they are flexible, like I said. So we start with the majors. We have the Rookie, and it's a full card, which makes total sense. I'm trying to show you, but it has this like foil border, even though the images go all the way to the end, and the title's in black font at the bottom, but there's like another gold foil line there. But yeah, the beginning of your baseball career, you are a rookie. You know what you're doing. So that fits for the Fool. All-Star is the Magician, and that makes sense to me. The one thing about these cards is I feel like the artwork doesn't necessarily fully express the card. But being the magician, we still have that as above, so below stance. We have all 4 of the suits, symbols represented here. And this also makes sense to me because the all-star can do it all, right? The coach. Now, this is mostly, from what I can tell, baseball images and male baseball players and staff, but occasionally we do have females. Occasionally softball pops up and little league images. So it's not the most diverse, but there's some diversity in types of baseball and age in here. So the coach as the Empress makes sense, especially considering where coaches sit in the minors. I guess there's that guidance and nurturing your team, nurturing their goals and planning to win aspect in this, creating the plays. And so I could see that connection with the Empress. I mean, the Empress, the High Priestess, Jesus Christ. I think I would put this more with the Empress, obviously. I think that was a Freudian slip for me. The Empress card is the natural, which I get it. That connection with earth, with nature, with doing things instinctually, I guess. You just have that natural talent. This card doesn't really show me that, but maybe there's something to do with the 3 here. I'm not sure if some of the card images represent actual well-known baseball players or not. I would have to look through the guidebook and see if maybe they're mentioned. For the legend, the Emperor. So, again, I'm not sure if this is like a artistic representation of a famous baseball player, but the legend as the Emperor, I'm thinking that sort of kind of fits. Like, they know what they're doing. Clearly, they're a legend for a reason. They are the ones that kind of set the tone that others want to follow and be like. People become baseball players because of their legendary careers. So I could see that sort of fitting, following their systems. 5, the manager, the Hierophant. Again, sort of kind of fits. Don't quite see how this person is a manager over the others in here, but as far as the title goes, I prefer this idea of a Hierophant as a manager, as someone who manages the team. They know the rules, they know how things are supposed to go, and they make sure the team follows them, the traditions, the rules, etc. The Lovers is the team, and I like that. Like, the idea of you have to work together to create something, and this is not putting in that duality, but multiplicities, if that makes any sense. I guess we all have to focus together on one goal, but there's all the different personalities, all the different skills and talents that have to come together to make things work. So I like that idea. Control is the Chariot. So here's where I start being unsure about which card is which. I'm not sure about this image. but the movement definitely does it for me. Oh my god, could we please? Okay, I have to move some stuff around, but yeah, like, I guess the close-up on his thighs, the running, gives us that forward momentum, that movement, the running from a base, I'm assuming to the next base. That's the goal, to get forward. I'm not exactly sure how that corresponds more obviously with the chair, but we move on. The power, strength. I don't know. This is one card where I'm gonna have to not really love the artistry. I think there should have been some more muscular obviousness here. Though I guess if he's holding 3 wooden bats at once, maybe. We'll see. I think this is strength, power. Maybe the power hitter. Not a baseball expert, guys. Then we've got the reflection, who is obviously the hermit. Again, not sure. Like, the keyword fits, but not sure about the image. Yes, because he has a journal that hits, that works. Yeah, you do gotta take some time to think about things. Breaks is the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not sure what the breaks is. It says here, fortune, karma, what goes around comes around. Good luck, bad luck. Oh, these are the breaks. Your lucky break or bad break. Okay. Not exactly sure about the images, though. If you see the top guy is smiling, when you reverse him, he is not looking too happy there. The umpire is justice, which makes sense. This also seems to be mostly old-time baseball. Like, I'm not seeing modern baseball outfits. Whoops. But they could also be not professional players. But this suit is really telling me, yeah, justice. The umpire makes the decisions. They on the calls, they're supposed to be unbiased and objective, so that makes sense to me. Next we have the slump. Let me pull this up. Well, he doesn't look too happy. Slump is not a great thing. I guess when you are unwillingly or unexpectedly kind of taking a break, you're just not doing good. And I guess that fits with the hangman. You're just not happy. It says accepting own flaws, surrendering for the time being. I think a slump is not planned. I don't know though. Next, retirement. This is the death card, and I like this as a death card. I think it really speaks to the idea of something coming to an end. But it's not the end of your life, right? When you're done, you're done. You retire. Sometimes it's forcefully. Sometimes you make that choice. And it's just moving on to something else. It could be sad, but yeah. And the walking out of the stadium image I like. Okay, then we have the hero. Temperance. Optimism, artful action, skillful combining of elements, adjusting, good attitude. The hero and the goat have been used in history of baseball and its literature as mirror images with opposite archetypal qualities. Since baseball pits 2 teams against one another, every heroic play implies that someone else, usually in the rival club, has missed an opportunity to shine. To be the hero is a dream of every young ball player. The little leaguer who pitches a no-hitter, the player who squeaks a home run in just on the far side of the foul pole to win a classic battle in extra innings. Here, All are demonstrations of the hero at work on the diamond. What satisfaction, joy, pride to have your fellow teammates hoist you aloft. Every game has its heroes. Every player can experience being a hero from time to time. They are remembered as glowing figures above and beyond the ordinary ball player. I'm not seeing quite how this fits with temperance, though. I guess they somehow create a good situation or play, maybe? I didn't know that a hero was a literal word archetype used with baseball. Like, I've seen things like described here. So yeah, I was a little confused by this book. So we've got the goat, which is the devil. I mean, goat to me is greatest of all time. Doubt, pessimism, stagnation, the shadow, manipulations. I mean, this image definitely gives that sore loser aspect. How long have you seen it? A player, coach, or even manager kicking the dirt on the base path or around the mound, angry over a call, shouting, cursing, ready to take on an opposing player or umpire. Then the crestfallen player who drops a routine fly ball to let in the winning run. The pitcher who sews up a round tripper to lose a game. Just as there can be one or more heroes per ball game, there can be one or more goats. You boot a ground ball that should have been easily handled. You make a wild throw. You walk in the final run, or perhaps the worst scenario of all, you strike out with the bases loaded at in the bottom of the ninth with the game on the line. You're branded the GOAT. So this is not a term that I am familiar with when it comes to baseball, clearly. You're branded the GOAT, and there's nothing much to be done at that point but accept it. Keep your chin up, maintain a positive attitude, and move on. But sometimes the shadow side of being the GOAT takes over the player's personality, resulting in a consistent bad attitude. Is there a solution? The ultimate tragedy of this condition is that this individual becomes an outcast, a pariah in the game, branded a bad sport. Yes. Is there a solution to the quandary of the miserable goat? Yes. The goat is an expert climber with sure footing in even the rockiest terrain. So while the goat may have succumbed temporarily, this player also has a skill to rise from self-doubt and pessimism, leaping to higher ground. Interesting. So I learned something new. GOAT does not mean greatest of all time in baseball. All right. A whole new ball game. The tower. And there's a lightning strike there. Sometimes a bolt comes out of the blue and suddenly everything's changed. The circumstance to which you're accustomed and perhaps even your sense of reality itself is shaken to the core. In a baseball game, you may know the score and feel sure that the outcome, is obvious. Then an unexpected play thunders across the diamond and everyone is startled into recognizing that actually anything might happen. One of the most familiar images of the traditional tarot deck is titled The Tower. Whole new ball game refers to scenarios within a single game, also to profound historic transformations in baseball's practices and worldview, such as when the major league color barrier was finally broken, or when the Hall of Fame first opened its exhibit honoring female ball players. Other expressions of a whole new ball game include... So this is like the phrase, the whole new ball game. I get it. It took me how much reading? It's a whole new game now. Breaking long established records, league expansion and reorganization, the invention of free agent status, a trade of major players, an accident that claims the life of a star. Pivotal, shocking moments. It's a whole new ball game. Okay, I got it. It took me a while, but I got it. Okay, next we've got batting 1,000 which is the star. Makes sense. Inspiring. Talented. Clearly not in the league with others because it's doesn't happen that often. I like this quote. All baseball fans believe in miracles. The question is, how many do you believe in? By John Updike. The 1,000 comes from the figure 1.000. That's a batting average statistic that would represent a player who succeeds to the utmost, getting a hit every single time at bat. Batting 1,000 is every batter's ideal, but it's no one's goal. Why? Because in real life, it can't be done, at least not for long. It's a symbol of perfection. For a reality check, recall that in the major leagues, an average of .300, 300 or higher is considered excellent. In the entire history of the game, only a handful of players have ever achieved the season batting average of .400 or more. Makes sense. That hope, that dream. The catcher is the moon, which I definitely am gonna need some. I get the receptiveness. Obviously, they receive the ball. They catch it. Always ready, up, and open. Whatever comes, the catcher seeks to grasp. The card calls attention to the importance of staying open to the unknown and to the extraordinary value of cultivating your intuition and deeper understanding of yourself. The catcher knows better than anyone else that adaptability is vital. The best defense is being prepared to handle whatever life pitches. The catcher is, in fact, the hub of a multi-level network of secret communication carried on in baseball code known as science. Okay, all right. I do know that, but I forgot. That makes sense. So we have like the secret, mysterious aspect, but also the receptivity, the being flexible, all of that fits. Okay. And then this highlights why mitts are cups as well. We have the pitcher, which coming after the catcher makes sense. This is usually the sun card. This is the action emanates from the pitcher whose initiative begins the game and restarts each new cycle of play. The pitcher intentionally shines bright down and out from the mound at the diamond center, high above all other players, calling them to meet attention with attention, life with life. So the pitcher is in the center of the diamond, like I said, at a higher point. The game revolves around them, literally. I can see that. The rule book. This is judgment. Again, makes sense. The rule book is held by the umpire, usually justice. Criticism, guilt, forgiveness, consciousness. No game in the world is as tidy and dramatically neat as baseball, with cause and effect, crime and punishment, motive and result so cleanly defined. Paul Gallico. Rule book is consulted when no other clear means of ascertaining how to call a specific play or actions. That makes sense. This is the call. What everyone refers to, the procedures, principles, judgments, standards of the sport. And last but not least, we have the World Series, which makes sense to me. I'm from New York City, FYI, if you did not know. We have Subway Series quite often, and then the World Series is something that obviously one of our teams have been to quite often. The World card. Recall every ball player you've ever seen and bring their actions here. Mary Haynes. The ultimate goal of the rookie's journey is to reach the World Series. This is the penultimate, the ultimate. Whether Little League, Women's League, Collegiate Division, Semi-Pro Ball, Farm League, or the Majors, arrival at the World Series is the collective dream come true for players and teammates. To be a participant in the World Series is to experience baseball's ultimate quest for that season. There's a celebratory atmosphere. There's a championship team that will get the prize trophy and the ring and all of that stuff. So, at least in the majors. So, that's pretty cool. Like, you begin the series as a rookie, the season as a rookie, and you end with the World Series. That's like, wow. I don't know how often that happens, but makes sense. Now we're on to the minors, and I put them in order how they have them in the book, and I'll go through these quicker and just give like a quick thing. They're numbered, but it's a little bit differently. The cards. So we have the Ace of Mitts, Eternal Beginnings. Mitts, again, correspond with cups. Two of Mitts, Double Play. So the thing is, I'm not sure what all of these terms mean. So maybe I won't be going as quick as I thought I would. Let me see. Two runners called out in one ongoing play. Oh, the proverbial two birds with one stone. Okay. Three of Mitts is a triple play. Seriously? Is that even, like, how would you even, well, I guess if there's three people on the diamond? Three quick outs to retire the opposing side. Oh, back to back. All in one ongoing play requiring extraordinary fielding skills, communication, teamwork is necessary. Okay. So those two were from the perspective of the opposing team getting those players out, not those players being out. Got it. Four of Mitts, foul. Pulling back is another key word. Between a strike or a hit, a ball caught in foul territory is out. Five of Mitts, error. This accepting imperfection. The cry of disappointment and frustration when the ball bounces out of your mitt or rolls right through your legs. So the five being a conflict or a disappointing situation continues. Six of Mitts, nostalgia, which that's that childhood idea from the original tarot, loving memories. Seven of Mitts, out of reach, choosing reality. You jump, straining, glove outstretched, but the ball is out of reach. So possibly is the hope of coming from behind when that kept your team spirit alive. Eight of Mitts, fielder's choice, taking a new path. When fielding, the play is often dedicated by circumstances. You need only apply the skill to carry it out. Well, the fielder's choice, the moment demands a decision. Okay. That's like 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups, pop fly, delighting in the daily. The ball is hit and flies in a perfect, predictable arc right to you. You're certain you'll catch it. No tension, no worries, no conflicts. 10 of Mitts, chatter. Lasting happiness. Though the outsiders may sound like joking or even gibberish, chatter conveys a deep camaraderie among players. It's the reason the sport doesn't need cheerleaders. In baseball, teammates cheer for each other. Okay. I didn't know there was like a literal term. Learning lots about baseball here. Alright, so here's where things change. Normally this will be a page. It's not. It's the 11 of Mitts. Signs. Signs are... when we talked about the catcher, that secret language that they use to communicate is that deepening understanding. A newcomer can easily follow and enjoy elementary ups and downs of a baseball game, but those in the know watch a simultaneous conversation that controls the overt action. The language of signs, coded signals between management, player, catcher, and pitcher must be properly deciphered, like intuition and imagination. Messages from the unconscious, drawing on intuition, trusting your hunches, that kind of thing. So 12 of myths, what would be the Knight of Cups, is the circus catch. Running backwards, glove up, eyes following the ball's arc against the sky. You know the catch is impossible, but you won't let it go. Somehow you make that circus catch. So different from one of the earlier cards where you don't make that catch. Idealism, utopian beliefs, believes in the impossibility. Now, we have a more traditional court card, the Coach of Myths, learning new ways of the heart and spirits. Now, I would say the coaches correspond with the queens, which makes sense also because there's a similar card in the majors to correspond with the Empress. And coach's ability to instruct players and develop their potential is crucial to a team's success. A caring mentor. MVP of Myths, which corresponds with the King, if I could pick up the card. Accomplishments of the heart and spirit. Pretty straightforward to me. Now we have the balls, which corresponds with swords, the mental sphere. Ace of balls shows a ball, mental beginnings. Two of balls, bulk. Oh Jesus, there's too many baseball terms. I don't know. This is where I'm like, huh? Confronting choices. A balk is the awkward and illegal move made when a pitcher interrupts delivery of a pitch to try to pick off or deceive a runner. Attempting to balance contradictory demands. Shies from tough decisions. You face an inescapable choice, so that fits with that Two of Swords. Three of balls is the shake off. In constant collaboration with the pitcher and catcher, together known as the battery, have the most intimate relationship on the diamond. Yeah. Recognition of the standard method of isn't working. The shake-off represents the moment when you recognize something's wrong and realize you must make a change. Disagreement. Knows their own mind. So I guess I'd like this Three of balls, Three of better than a Three of Swords kind of situation, which is usually the swords through the heart. Four of balls, sidelined. Healing, renewal, relaxation. An injured player looks on from the dugout wistfully. Five of balls, the curve ball. Winner takes all, conflict, a win-lose situation. Unexpected, throwing a curve. Nastiness masqueraded as gamemanship. Zealously competitive. Unexpected, or expect the unexpected. Six of balls, the fastball. Positive movement, named for its speed. Movement inspired by clear thinking, increased awareness. Seven of balls is the spitball. Okay, so these are all throws. Unethical means illegally altering the ball surface with moisture. Deception is discovered and exposed. Because they've got the umpire there, like, what's going on? What you doing back there? Untrustworthy. Eight of balls, a choke. Ooh. That's, now we've got a bat thing. I'm putting too much pressure on myself not to put too much pressure on myself. Dan Billardello. Losing direction. Everyone's watching you and counting on, not choking on the bat, but choking on playing. Failure at a crucial moment. Ability to maintain perspective despite failure would be a positive aspect. Nine of balls, the strike out. The third strike confirms defeat. At best, healthy grief, healing tears. At worst, devastating loss. The 10 of balls, sacrifice, evaluating trade-offs, sacrifice for a good cause. 11 of balls, no hitter, determined attention. The pitcher stares down one batter after another, retiring them all as the outs add up inning after inning. A battle, especially of ideas, self-control, vigilance. 12 of balls. Again, that would be like the page. This would be like the Knight of Swords. Wild pitch, slow down, calm down, potent, misguided. You're all over the place. Now, the Coach of Balls, learning new ways of thinking. An opportunity to learn or teach, particularly a subject involving logic or analysis. And the MVP of balls, intellectual accomplishments. Every day is a new opportunity. You can build on yesterday's success and put its failures behind and start over again. That's the way of life, with a new game every day, and that's the way baseball is. Bob Feller. Now we are moving on to bats, which are the wands. Ace of bats, beginning action. Two of bats, take. Waiting to see. Wisely resisting the temptation to act immediately. Awareness of context. A natural impulse to try to get the wood on the ball, but under some circumstances, the best course of action is to take a pitch. That is to refrain from swinging. Interesting. I didn't know that was what that was called. Three of bats. Single. Building success. The basic building block of baseball game offers the promise of advancement. Sure, base is hit isn't a homer, but it's still a reason to cheer. Okay, a single base. Four of bats. The grand slam, of course. Five of bats. Rhubarb. Destructive fighting. Wow, they don't have the bats in here. I guess they said that might look too violent. Frustrating, explodes into fury. At best, a somewhat constructive conflict that brings to the surface feelings or issues that needed to be expressed. At worst, rash, hostile, destructive action. Six of bats, a home run. Acting with confidence. It's going over the fence and gone. Confidence, victory, especially by an individual. Seven of bats is the line drive. Maintaining position, defending a position. The line drive emphasizes the importance of solid, assertive connection with the demands that face you. Okay. Eight of bats. Batter up. Speedy movement. You can hit him if you don't. You can't hit him if you don't swing at him. Batter up. Good time for action. Baseball's traditional summons to the plate. The nine of bats is out. Actions fail. There's that umpire. So umpire's gesture is unmistakable. You've tried and failed. A temporary setback. 10 of bats is bases loaded, carrying responsibility. A scenario both promising and ominous. Runners on first, second, and third with a win in the balance. Stepping up to the bat with the bases loaded is a weighty responsibility. Right. The 11 of bats, again, would correspond with the page of wands. Changing creatively, switch hitter. They display the extraordinary advantage of adaptability, able to bat from either side. Kind of ambidextrous from left-handed and right-handed. 12 of bats is extra innings. That would be the Knight of Wands, pursuing adventure. Each game going beyond the usual bounds, stretching the traditional framework. A Coach of Bats, we again would correspond with the Queen of Wands. Learning new ways of action. If you aim at nothing, you're sure to hit it. Anonymous. In baseball, a coach's ability to instruct players and develop their potential is crucial to a team's success. Opportunity to learn, teach, guidance. And these coaches seem very similar. I mean, they're all coaches. But Then the MVP of bats, accomplishments of action. Last but not least, we have the bases. These correspond with the pentacles, the ace of bases, practical beginnings, the two of bases, the pick off, skillful juggling. The runner takes a big lead off the base, aiming to steal or just to get a head start. Suddenly, the pitcher or catcher zips the ball to the baseman. The runner is out. Work that feels like play. Bases, going safe, going places. Yes, you watch with relief as the umpire arms swing. Good work builds a good reputation. 4 bases, hugging the base, ensuring security, staying on a rundown, coping with defeat. A rundown is precisely the disaster the base hugger fears, being trapped between bases with no way back to safety. Hi guys, so I'm back home on my windowsill here because I thought I filmed or transferred all my footage off the phone I was filming on, but I didn't, and I lost it after that day. So to continue, we have 5 of bases, the rundown, coping with defeat. Rundown is precisely the disaster the base hugger fears, being trapped between bases with no way back to safety. Forced to face serious problems ahead, loss of security, feeling trapped, desperation. Handles negative events squarely. Okay. Then the 6 of bases, a walk. This is sharing gifts. The count is 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, ball 4. The batter earns a walk. All the benefits of a single without having to race the throw to first. A walk is a gift that helps you move forward fairly effortlessly. 7 on deck, waiting for results. Once you're on deck, the safety and camaraderie of the dugout quickly fade. Here's the on-deck circle, waiting for your turn at bat to prepare to take action. Almost there, preparation for final action, fear of making the next move, waiting. 8 of bases, eye on the ball. Developing discipline, the quintessential baseball advice is keep your eye on the ball. This is essential wisdom revisited in a very offensive and defensive play. Eye on the ball represents necessity of dedicated apprenticeship. The development of self-discipline is key to eventual mastery. Learning by doing, training, that kind of thing. 9, we have home plate here. Reaping rewards. Beginning of the end, the aim in baseball is to bring yourself full circle to the home plate. Yeah, so when you return safely to home plate, you're back where you started, but victorious because of your journey. Prosperity, consistent effort pays off. Ooh. 10 of bases, winning streak. Satisfying stability. Success builds on success. You're surrounded by good cheer. Yesterday reflects wonderful memories. Tomorrow shines with promise. The benefits of connection to an established institution. 11. Remember, this would be the page of pentacles or coins. Steal. Daring to commit. Steal or stolen base occurs when a runner manages to run safely from one base to the next during the pitcher's windup and during the delivery of a ball or a strike. When you attempt to steal a base, you make a commitment going for it even though there are no guarantees. Steal. 12 of bases would be the Knight of Pentacles here. Assist. Demonstrating reliability. I'm trying to hold these so the light catches it but doesn't go through so you can see the back. Some games can be played solo, but baseball requires teammates. Assist
represents interdependence, the essence of loyalty and reliability, making a contribution, helping out. Okay, then we have the Coach of Bases, the Queen of Pentacles here, learning a new ways of the world. Ain't no sense in worrying about things you got control over, because if you got control over them, ain't no sense in worrying. In baseball, each coach's ability to instruct players and develop their potential is crucial to a team's success. In baseball tarot, the Coach of Bases is a dedicated mentor of practical matters. This coach has been around and done it all. Lastly, the MVP of Bases, the King of Pentacles, practical accomplishments. The MVP of this suit, success is inevitable if you keep applying know-how and sweat. Physical mastery, real-world skills. So that is the baseball tarot. I know this camera is not perfect, so you might be picking up the sound. The gas truck that has come to deliver gas to my building, it seems. Isn't that wonderful? Sorry about that. But yeah, I will say that after going through each card, this is definitely an intermediate to advanced deck, unless you know baseball. The major cards seem to be the positions of players and certain equipment, things that the casual fan or not casual fans will know about baseball, but the minor arcana are very specific plays and things that you gotta know. As you see me go through this and be like, well, huh? Yeah, so definitely still interesting, and I'm gonna try and work with this deck a little and see what I think. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. Hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.